Thank you very much, House Chairperson.
Order, honourable members. Order.
Point of order, Chair.
Order, honourable members.
I'm particularly...
Honourable Shivambu.
Point of order, Chair.
Yes.
Honourable Shivambu, will you just take a seat? I just want to see why the honourable member is rising. Why are you rising, honourable member?
Chairperson, I want to know if it's parliamentary for a member who is implicated in this matter to be speaking.
No,
before the House.
honourable member. There are specific... Honourable Shivambu, will you take your seat, please? I want to draw your attention to the rules. And the rules is quite clear that when you have evidence or you have certain information at your disposal, you must submit it to the Speaker in the form of a substantive motion. You cannot just make an allegation like that, and that is completely out of order, honourable member, and I want you to withdraw that remark.
Chairperson, I asked a question. I didn't make a comment.
Honourable member, withdraw the remark, please.
Chairperson, I withdraw the question.
Thank you. Honourable Shivambu, continue.
Thank you very much, House Chair, for providing leadership on some degree of insanity. You know, earlier when we were speaking here, there were people who were singing "Pay Back the Money." So I was reminded that sages say that, you know, imitation is the most sincere but artless form of flattery. So we are flattered by, as the EFF, by those that learn from us in terms of how we demand accountability from those that are found to be doing wrong things. But the Democratic Alliance and a faction in the ANC are barking at the wrong tree. And you know what normally barks, so we'll not entertain the barking that has been happening here in terms of the issues of VBS. We're going to state here categorically clear without any fear of contradiction that the EFF and ourselves as members of parliament never benefited anything from the VBS looting and the so-called heist that happened there. But we want to give you clearer context of what happened there. The fact of the matter is that there was total wrongdoing by the executives of VBS Mutual Bank.
Honourable Shivambu, will you just take your seat?
I'd like to ask
Why are you rising, honourable member?
I'd like to ask the member a question. His leader said that they couldn't.
Honourable member, you know the rules. Subject yourself to the rules and abide by the rules. You cannot ask the member if you want to take a question and then you just carry on to ask the question anyway. Continue, Honourable Shivambu.
Chairperson, we as the EFF, without any fear of contradictions, wants to call on all the law enforcement agencies to take decisive action against all the people that did wrong in VBS Mutual Bank. But I want to give you context. Minister of Finance has just arrived. Is that from 2014, National Treasury, the South African Reserve Bank, the Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs were aware that municipalities are depositing money in a mutual bank against the law. And because of opportunism, National Treasury didn't do anything about it. Even when the question was asked to National Treasury, they just gave the list of municipalities that were exposed to VBS Mutual Bank. And not only VBS Mutual Bank, by the way, including the Grahamstown Building Society, which is a mutual bank, has got municipal deposits up to this date. The Reserve Bank has been aware throughout the existence of the bank that your exposure to municipalities is dangerous. And the only caution that the Reserve Bank gave to VBS Mutual Bank was that your depositors, they are concentrated with municipalities. Please balance it, not altogether discontinue it. So the regulatory opportunism that defined the National Treasury, that defined the South African Reserve Bank and COGTA, is what gave rise to what we are faced with now, where people realized that there's a lawless environment, and then they did a lot of lawless loans to themselves in terms of the monies that were not supposed to be given to them. And there must be action, unmitigated action in that regard. But what is to be done? One is that there must be an attempt by the curator to save the bank and give it back to the depositors. In any way, a mutual bank is not supposed to have a single dominant shareholder. All the depositors of a mutual bank are by definition supposed to be the shareholders of that particular bank. So in the same way we did with African Bank, let us put VBS Mutual Bank under curatorship, save it and hand it over to the depositors with a principal agreement that no single shareholder is going to have more than 2% control over the bank in a manner in which that got to happen throughout that particular environment. But this incident must not divert all of us to think that black people and a black government cannot run banks. That is why we must pass the Banks Amendment Bill as tabled in the Standing Committee on Finance, so that we have a diversified bank ownership in South Africa. We must not be deterred by shouters and detractors who are just barking at things that they've got no understanding about. We stay firm that there must be action against those who have done wrong, and then we must take forward the struggle for economic inclusion and balanced bank ownership in South Africa. Thank you very much.